Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. Today we go over our team selection for Game Week 9. As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to show support for the channel, and click that notification bell as well, as it really does help out the channel. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So let's have a look at how the team got on in Game Week 8. We did activate our wildcard in Game Week 8, and I would say it was a fairly successful game week for us, as we pretty much cut our over rank in half, which was nice to see. Starting off in goals, Nick Pope did just manage the 2 points, as we opted for a double up of Newcastle in defence with Pope in goals, but unfortunately they couldn't get the clean sheet at home to Bournemouth, which was slightly surprising considering Newcastle already did get the 3 clean sheets this season. Unfortunately, Pope couldn't get any save bonus points either, which was a bit uncharacteristic of him, as he does typically make lots of saves. By 2 points, it's not the end of the world. He's still got some good fixtures coming up for Newcastle, so hopefully he can bounce back there. Looking to the defenders, Vladimir Sufar was a bit frustrating, as West Ham did concede a goal away to Everton, I believe, which was a bit disappointing, as he just managed the 2 points, and we did have some returns on the bench. We were tossing up whether to start Sufar, rest him, what players to start in that position. Unfortunately, Sufar did blank for us. Looking over to the other defenders though, both Cancelo and Trippier did provide us with some returns, as Cancelo got that clean sheet away to Wolves, who to be fair did have a couple of decent chances on the counter-attack but couldn't turn anything home. Cancelo, on the other hand though, he did make a lot of defensive actions such as interceptions, and that's why he was able to feature very heavily on the bonus points. I believe actually picking up triple bonus in this one, which was nice to see, even though he didn't get any attacking returns. And then Trippier did round out their defence with an assist for Newcastle, as obviously him, despite him not getting a clean sheet, I believe he won a penalty in this one against Bournemouth, as it was a bit of a lucky one, as there was a handball, I believe, from his cross. Looking to the midfielders now, we did choose to start Leon Bailey this week. He only got himself the 3 points. I believe he did have Southampton in this one. Couldn't contribute anything from an attacking standpoint, but that's alright. He's still got some decent fixtures coming up. He does have Leeds away next week as well, so we'll have to see how he slots into the squad. We did choose to start Andres Pereira as well, which was a bit of a punt there. He did have a good fixture in Game Week 8, but just managed the 1 point, as despite not getting attacking returns, he did actually get a yellow card there as well. Otherwise, Son was the heart of the team, as there was a lot of controversy around whether we're going to go for De Bruyne or Son. Luckily, we did choose to go for Son, who got himself a hat-trick despite not starting for Tottenham. It was a roller coaster of emotions in this one, seeing the team sheets with him not in there, but then the huge second half hat-trick from Son was absolutely massive. 19 points there, which really saw our rank increase quite a lot coming to Game Week 9. Otherwise, Gabriel Martinelli rounded out the midfield with 3, as despite Arsenal putting 3 goals past Brentford, he couldn't get involved in anything. He did actually have a pretty big chance early in the game, which he couldn't turn home, but once again, he's always getting into some good positions for Arsenal, and at his price, I'm still pretty happy with him. Looking to the forwards now, Alexander Mitrovic was the only forward to blank in this one, as he had a great fixture against Nottingham Forest. Couldn't get involved once again. Fulham actually scored 3 goals in this one. Didn't get himself a goal or assist, which is a bit surprising considering his very good form. I believe coming into this game, he actually had 4 goals in his previous 4 matches. Then on captaincy, Erling Haaland got himself 6 points by scoring once again against Wolves. Unfortunately, he couldn't feature on the bonus points though, just getting the 6 there. And then Harry Kane rounded out the side with another double-digit return there, as the double up on the Spurs attack of Son and Kane did provide 29 points between the two of them. So this punt was definitely worth it at home to a Leicester side that have seriously struggled defensively this season, and arguably the weakest defence in the Premier League right now. And Tottenham, I believe, put so many goals past them. Obviously, Son, 3 goals. I believe Kane got a goal and an assist as well, which was nice to see. So definitely very happy with the double up on the Spurs attack there. Looking to the bench now, the goalkeeper got 0 points. Verson Patterson chipped in with the 6 points, which was a bit frustrating. Obviously, he was sitting there on the first bench. Bailey, Andres Pereira, and Sufal, all sort of 3 players that were in the mix potentially get rotated. They all start in all blank, whereas Patterson gets the 6 on the bench. And then Reece James and Wolf Zaha both didn't play, as they got 0 points each. Still got some good fixtures coming up though in Game Week 9 and onwards, so I'm hoping they can perform well. So that meant in Game Week 8 we scored 68 points, which was pretty decent, as our previous rank was 1.2 mil. We're now sitting at around 600k, which is nice to see. Definitely a good position to push on into the top 100k and beyond later in the season after a very strong wildcard this game week. So before we have a look at the Game Week 9 side, let's discuss some transfer plans. Currently, we haven't made any changes to the team as of yet. We're not really looking to bring in too many players this game week, as I'm pretty happy with how the squad's set up. Looking at the team's fixtures this week, they definitely aren't the strongest. But after a couple of good performances from the likes of Son and Kane, who despite not having the best fixture this week, have been in good touch. That's why we've not gone with any changes this week, saving the transfer and roll it over to 2 free transfers in Game Week 10. So with that all being discussed, let's have a look at the Game Week 9 team. In goals, Pope's got a great fixture this week of Fulham away. I'm hoping that Newcastle defence can bounce back. Typically, Fulham's attack has been pretty strong at home. Of course, Newcastle defence has got 3 clean sheets so far this season. And of course, Pope does typically make a lot of saves for them. Looking to the defenders, Vladimir Sofal's got a good fixture of Wolves at home. I am tossing it whether to start him or Leon Bailey, who's currently positioned on the bench with Leeds away. But for me, Wolves just haven't provided enough from an attacking standpoint. And West Ham's defence, despite not getting too many clean sheets, have only conceded 8 goals so far this season, which isn't a crazy amount. So I'm hoping they can get a clean sheet in that one at home. Reece James has got Crystal Palace away, which is another decent fixture. I'm hoping that Chelsea defence can improve quite a lot, of course, with the new manager of Graham Potter, and always Reece James getting into those great positions, getting far up the pitch, providing lots of attempted assists for his teammates. He does actually have one of the highest expected assist figures amongst all defenders so far, so I'm hoping he can continue that kind of form. Shaq Hanso's got a trickier fixture against Manchester United at home. That Man City defence, of course, is very strong, so there's always the potential that he can still get a clean sheet in this one. And for me, Cancelo's there's no way he's getting bent this week. He's such a solid performer. He's going to start most games for Man City, and he can chip in with a goal or an assist every now and then. And Kieran Trippier is a part of a Newcastle double up in defence against Fulham away. He's shown that he can get goals and assists throughout the season. He's making great runs forward, and that's how he did get his assist in Game Week 8, as despite it not being the cleanest assist, obviously winning the penalty, it's all about the positions that he's getting into. On to the midfielders now. Son does have a trickier fixture of Arsenal away, but for me, he's going to stay in the squad after getting 19 points in Game Week 8. He's been in decent touch in his last couple matches. He didn't really take his chances previously, but for me, after getting that hat-trick, hopefully it's a confidence booster. He's now proven to be a lot more clinical. He's taken some really good goals in that Game Week 8 fixture. He's getting into some good positions, so hopefully he can secure that starting spot. I do think it'd be very unlikely that he gets benched once more after such a strong performance. So I'm hoping, even though Arsenal away isn't the easiest fixture, he can once again get on the score sheet, as he could prove to be a very good differential option for us in midfield. Quickly on Son, though, he is one that we're looking to move out around Game Week 12. Of course, Ben Salah does have that good fixture turn for Liverpool, which would potentially see Kane also drop down to whether it's the likes of Tony. We'll have to see if Solanke can find some form as well for Bournemouth, and that, of course, will free up the extra funds to go Son to Salah, and then potentially whether it be Soufal or maybe even Patterson there, as he was listed out for 4 or 5 weeks for Everton. One of those players can get upgraded to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then we've capped off those 2 main Liverpool assets in Trent and Salah. Try and capitalise on that good fixed run for Liverpool, and then sort of switch somewhat back to the template, more a safer team, obviously before Game Week 16 when we get that second wild card, and hopefully sort the team out then. Looking at the rest of the midfielders, Martinelli and Zaha do round out the players in the middle of the park. For me, Martinelli does stay in the squad this week. He's also one that we do have to consider potentially moving out in Game Week 12. We can always choose to bench him just for that game week, as we do have pretty good cover right now. Of course, with Leon Bailey sitting there with Aston Villa's good fixtures, he can always step in place of him. Also, Andreas Pereira can provide some decent value for his price tag, so if he's got a good fixture around that time, he can always step in. And Wilfried Zaha at Chelsea at home isn't actually the hardest fixture in the world right now, as Chelsea's defence, as we've touched on, hasn't been the strongest so far this season. Zaha's very good at home. He's on penalties, of course, for Crystal Palace, and he's got very strong underlying stats. I believe he does have an XG of 3 in just 5 games so far for Crystal Palace this season, and he's actually scored 4 goals as well. So definitely a very nice asset to have. I'm happy with him. I don't think Chelsea at home is the hardest fixture, so hopefully he can chip in with something from an attacking standpoint. And of course, after this game week, Crystal Palace do have some very, very good fixtures from now until game week 16. Looking at the front three now, it is a combination of Mitrovic, Haaland and Kane. First of all, looking at Mitrovic, Newcastle at home is a good fixture in its own right, as of course Fulham are a very good attacking outfit at home, and Mitrovic does typically go well at this venue. Hopefully he can return back on the score sheet. He did have 4 goals in his 4 previous games before blanking in game week 8, and in fact he does have the 3rd or 4th highest XG amongst all players in the game, only behind the likes of Haaland, Kane and Jesus. Speaking of Erling Haaland, he takes the captain's armband this week. Yes, Manchester United at home isn't the easiest fixture, but looking at the rest of the players in the squad, there isn't too many fixtures such as the likes of the Tottenham ones with Son and Kane. Those are probably the other 2 that we're looking to captain, but for me, that Arsenal fixture is a bit harder than the Manchester United fixture in my opinion. Manchester City's such a strong side, Erling Haaland's getting lots of chances, and for me, with the form he's in right now, pretty much regardless of the fixture, he could be playing Liverpool away and he'd still be a strong captaincy shout, just based on how many chances he's getting and how potent he's been in front of goal. So that's why he's got the captain's armband this week. Harry Kane, on the other hand, though, another decent captaincy contender, but does miss out for me. Arsenal away, probably not the best fixture, but he's been in such great form for Tottenham. He does have the 2nd highest expected goal stat out of any player, and one potentially being a little bit overlooked. For me, probably the 2nd strongest or 3rd strongest premium option in the game right now, just due to his very good underlying stats. He does actually have the 2nd highest expected FPL points behind Erling Haaland, so for me, he remains in the side for now, at least until game week 12 or 13, where we look to bring Mo Salah in for Liverpool. So I'm happy to roll with Harry Kane for now, given his good form and decent next couple of fixtures. With that being said, let's have a look at the bench. Everson did step in on the wild card. He's a little bit cheaper than Ward. He's got Nottingham Forest at home this week. It will be a little bit interesting to see what Leicester do with their goalkeeper situation. Obviously, Ward hasn't been in the best form for Leicester. I probably still would expect him to start, but there's a sneaky chance Everson maybe gets some minutes there. Leon Bailey is currently sitting on the bench against Leeds away, which is a very good fixture. For me, there's just a little bit of uncertainty around his starting minutes, as it tends to be a pattern of starting one, then getting rested one. But if he's going to step in for any player, it's probably Sofal against Wolves at home for me. It's probably the player that I'm least certain about in the starting 11 right now in terms of form. Otherwise, Andreas Pereira, Newcastle at home is a good fixture. In 2 of his home games this season, he has provided an assist in each of these ones, so he could potentially continue this good home form. And then for now, Patterson does remain in that 3rd bench position, as he did unfortunately get injured on international duty, which Everton just released recently that he could be out to 4 to 5 weeks. So potentially one on the horizon of a transfer out, as I would expect his value to decrease. He did increase to 4.1. I did increase to £4.1 million, but hopefully he doesn't drop down to 3.9, so we can save as much value in him as possible. But potentially Trent could come in place of Patterson when we downgrade Harry Kane to the likes of Slanky or Tony around game weeks 12 or 13. Thanks so much for watching today's team selection for Game Week 9. I hope you guys found the video useful. Leave a comment and let me know, did you use your wild card in Game Week 8 already, or have you used it for Game Week 9, and how's the team lining up? As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel, pushes it out to more people. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.